OK, moving on. Lifeguards on a beach are always on the lookout for rip currents. They're particularly dangerous for swimmers who can be swept out to sea. That's exactly what happened at Woolacombe Beach in Devon. The RNLI had to leap into action when 8 children and 3 adults, an entire football team, were dragged out into deep water and deep trouble, all captured on the lifeguard's helmet camera. Luke Yabsley and Sam Day are leaping into action. They need to get the inflatable rescue boat out fast. A riptide is taking bathers way out to sea. 7 of them are already tiring. They're under 13s from the same football team. Luke goes at full throttle. With so many to rescue at once, there's not a second to lose. When they get there, Luke throws out floats to the exhausted swimmers, while Sam wastes no time pulling them on board.
Can you sit down here, mate? Just calm down, guys, all right, we'll come and get you. Back here, mate. Back here. I'll have to stay there. All right. Just give us a go, buddy. Good girl. Yeah. You all right for 2 minutes? We'll come and get you. Drop a life jacket, mate. Hold on tight for us, buddy.
This is Joe and Tommy who are in the water there. That would look pretty scary.
Yeah, you don't realise how scary it is until it's, like, all over and realise how lucky you are. Was it frightening when you were actually in the water?
Yeah, it just takes you out of breath, really, and, like, you can't swim, so you have to ask for
Just have to hang on there.
Yeah.
Grandad's with them as well, who actually saw you floating up alongside the boat there. You've got to ask the question, why were you in the water and how did you get into such trouble so quickly?
Well, we take the guys on a football tour at the end of the season, and we always take them for a swim. And we went on to Woolacombe Beach in between the flags. We were basically waist to chest height, just swimming with them. And then before you knew it, we were washed out to sea. Just could not swim against the tide. I've
always called them rip tides. In actual fact, they're called rip currents. I'm told. Yes. But what does it feel like when you get taken by one?
You don't initially know until you sort of look and realise how far you are from the beach, and you're actually going backwards.
Well, you must have been terrified to see the kids going out with you at that stage.
I can't say I was terrified because I'd obviously got my 2 grandchildren there. We also take other children whose parents can't go, and we look after them. So you've got sort of children in there, your own family and others, and...
I think I'd be terrified at that stage, especially with other people's kids. Let's take a look how it developed.
Jump out that side, guys, now. Quick, guys. Quick, hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
They rush back out for the rest of the swimmers. Again, they head for the youngest first.
Cheers, buddy.
Some surfers are helping out. The children are clinging onto their boards.
Climb up in. Climb up in, mate. Climb up in, mate. Mate, climb in. I'm not going to lift you all the way. Hurry up, guys.
The boys are clearly relieved to get out of the water and get back to dry land to join the rest of their team. After one more trip to pick up the adults, it's time for a head count.
Is everyone back? 9, 10, 11.
All of the 11 are safe and well.
Yeah, no one swallowed any water? No. Yeah, you feeling all right though? You're not feeling sick? So as long as you're all good, eh? So, awesome, chaps.
All a very terrifying experience, but resolved very quickly thanks to Luke, who has basically had the camera on there that you could see, and his colleague who was in the boat. What's your colleague's name?
Sam.
Sam, OK. Now, tell us what happened there, because you're on a beach that's got between the flags.
Yep.
So it's presumably a safe swimming beach, and yet suddenly you have all the kids and adults swept out to sea. How does that happen?
It is. We put the red and yellow flags the safest place on the beach at the time. Throughout the day, we obviously assess the situation and the conditions and move them if need be. But with sudden rip currents, they come out of nowhere. And literally within minutes, they take people out if people are in the way.
I understand there are 2 ways to deal with if you get caught in one. There's no point in trying to swim against it and get back to shore, is there?
Absolutely not, no. That just wears you out. You use a lot of energy and you'll find you'll get taken out anyway if you
and
try
you're more in
swim
danger of
against it.
drowning if you lose that energy. So conserve
exactly.
energy is one thing.
Conserve energy, stay nice and calm, and raise your arm. It makes it a lot easier for the lifeguards to.
They did very well, the guys, actually, didn't they? Given that they were suddenly swept out, and Grandad and everybody did exactly the right thing.
They did extremely well. Yep, they stayed calm. They realised they were in trouble, but they stayed calm, reserved energy, and put their arm in the air. And then we already knew about it, but just the arm in the air makes it.
Can you swim out of the riptide?
You can if you're a reasonable swimmer. We always tell people to swim across or parallel to the beach.
So don't try and swim against the current, which is taking you out.
Never try and swim against
sideways.
Swim sideways into the surf line or into the waves where the waves are breaking. If not, just let it take you out and stay nice and calm.
Stay nice and calm, because at some stage that will stop and you'll get a chance to swim back in, or somebody can.
It will stop, and you can either swim back around it or you can wait for us to come and get you.
But you'd be pleased that back on dry land, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Happy to go out the other side of it? I thought you did very well. You all did very well. Nice to talk to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just to